Here's something I tell my theater kids before every show. It's a good thing to be nervous, right? Being nervous means you want to do well. If you don't want to do well, you wouldn't be here. If you have a question? Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna get like such an easy word when I spell it because it's gonna have a capital letter on the first one. So I'm just gonna say like no capital.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because in years past we don't do words with capital letters.
You don't have to say the capital.
You don't have to say the capital letters.
So if you get the word Ireland, you can just say I-R-E.
Oh, no capital I.
You don't have to say
You don't have to
capital.
say capital. And
So
there's no
it is a proper noun, but I don't believe there are any that I saw,
no hyphens either.
not that I found. But if there are, if it is a hyphenated word, you don't have to use it. Okay.
It's 9 o'clock, so we're going to get started. And I'm going to read through some rules here. I wanted to say welcome to the 2021 WEM School District Spelling Bee. Hello to everyone who is watching at home this year, both on the YouTube Live and our Valley channel. Before we begin, there's a few people that deserve thanks. I'm Andrew Hansen, if you don't know me, but I would normally coordinate the spelling bee, but this year, this very, very crazy year, I decided it'd be a good idea to have a baby in the midst of a pandemic and in the midst of a virtual one-act play season. So I asked if anyone could take over the coordinator reins this year. And so I want to say thank you to Mrs. Nelson and Mrs. Langamo for doing that. Mrs. Nelson is the pronouncer this year. Our judges this year are Mr. Henderson and Mr. Jordan. The spelling bee is conducted in rounds. So listen very closely here. Here's where I talk through all the rules with the spelling bee. So the spelling bee is conducted in rounds. Each student remaining at the start of a round spells one word in each round. In a round, you face the judges and say the word before you spell it and say the word after you spell it. Please say each letter very clearly. When you come up here, we will ask you to remove your mask so that the judges can see you pronounce the word and can fully understand it. Okay? You may ask the pronouncer, Mrs. Nelson, to say the word again, to define it, to repeat the sentence, to provide the part of speech, or if there's any other possible pronunciations to provide the reply. Did I miss anything?
No, I'll give you a sentence each time, so. But just the important thing is say the word before you spell it, say the word after you spell it.
Yeah,
And then, well, if you have to say it, you have to start over. Oh, okay.
So, as we mentioned earlier, you can use the dry erase board on the podium to write out the word. Where is it?
Paper pencil.
Paper pencil. Okay. Paper pencil to write the word out before you spell it out loud, which we very strongly suggest that you do, because once you say a letter wrong, you can't go back and change it. So if the word is jump, for example, and I say G, shoot, wait, J, can't do it. Okay. However, yes.
This question.
I was just about to say that. That's just fine. I'm glad we asked these questions. However, you can repeat yourself. So if you are just looking at your shirt, it says electronics, okay? If the word is electronics and you say E-L-E-C and you need to stop and you need to start over, you can do that. Just so long as you don't change the order of the letters that you say again. So you can repeat yourself, but you can't change what you said so far. So you can say E-L-E-C, E-L-E-C-T, okay, and then continue on with the word, right? You can do that, you just can't change what you've already said. You can't go back and change what you already said. Does that make sense? Yeah, are there any questions about that? Okay. If you don't say the word again, we've said this already, but say it before you spell it, say it after you spell it. If you don't say it after you spell it, the judges will wait for you to say it again. before they give their answer. It's just to indicate to the judges that you're done spelling. That's why we do this. There will be a practice round where no one is eliminated so that you can practice the format. Okay? Now, here's what the end of the spelling bee looks like, unless you have any questions for this. Here's what the end of the spelling bee looks like. If all of the students remaining in the spelling bee at the start of a round spell their words incorrectly during that round. So this is just an example, hypothetical, if this happens. All the students from that round would remain in the competition and a new round would begin. Okay? So, I don't know all of you, but if Joy and Peter, I have those two in class, if they were both in the same round, round 12, the last round, and they both spelled the word round, their words wrong, we would start a new round, round 13, and they're both back in it. Okay? If only one student in a round spells their word correctly, a new one-word spelling round begins, and the speller is given an opportunity to spell the next word on the list, which would be the championship word. So, if the student spells the word correctly in that one-word round, then the student is declared the champion. Okay? So, an example of that. So, let's say that in round 12 there are two students, there are Peter and Joy. And Joy spells her word correctly, but Peter spells his word wrong. Okay? So, in that example, Joy is the only speller in round 12 to spell correctly, but then Joy would start round 13, which is a one-word round, and is offered the championship word. If Joy spells the championship word, she is declared the champion. Does that make sense?
But if she doesn't,
If she doesn't,
Peter's back in,
yes,
and they do another round.
yes.
If one person gets the word wrong, is the word repeated for the next person?
No. We would just go on to the next one.
Okay.
Yep, good question. Yes. Any other questions? In case you didn't hear what this said, if Joy would spell the championship word wrong, then both of them would be back. Okay, so think of it this way: Joy would have to spell two words correctly in a row in order to be declared the champion. Great. Congratulations on making it to this point, and good luck to everyone today. Thank you so much. I'll put this microphone back up on the podium up here. Make sure that you're ready to come up to the stage when you're next in line, and we'll get started. Yeah. Yes, make sure. Yeah, stand very close to the microphone and read into it, and face the judges so they can see you, so they can hear you, and so that mom and dad and grandma and grandpa can hear you from home too. Okay? Anything else?
I think we're good. Abby, you can step up. Oh. This will be a practice round. Each person will get one practice word. And then Bella, you can come from their way when she's done with the practice work, okay? So that's the way we'll do it. So we have two people there. Adding a practice word is chess. There is your sentence. Noah always started each game of chess aggressively by moving his knight out. Chess. Yes, please do. Yes. Noah always started each game of chess aggressively by moving his knight out. Chess.
Chess. C-H-E-S-S. Chess.
That's correct. Bella, step forward for practice, or please advance. Bella, your practice word is slimy. The slug left behind a slimy silver trail that was both beautiful and gross. Slimy.
Slimy. S-L-I-N-E.
Incorrect. But you are not out, this is your practice round, but there is no uniform. Pardon me? Yep, go back down. Cora, please. Next speller. Peter, go to the stairway. And then when we're in the regular spelling round, just go on. Okay, Cora, your practice word is squeak. Mr. Mousepants would squeak appreciatively whenever Jasper scratched behind his ears. What is it? Squeak.
Squeak. S-Q-U-E-A-K. Squeak.
That's correct. All right, Ellie, you may go. Peter, your practice word is friend. Andrew couldn't believe his luck when his best friend moved just across the street. Friend.
Here. We don't have hunter, we don't have hunter. We can keep that, yeah.
F-R-I-N-D.
That is correct. Come up, and then Joy, you may approach the stairway. Ella, your practice word is left. I said her whole life was on her laptop. Her journal, her games, and all of the songs she had recorded. Laptop.
Laptop. L-A-P-T-O-P. Laptop.
That is correct. David, please approach. Joy, your practice word is movie. When the cat turns into three space lizards, Janelle turned to her best friend and whispered, "This movie makes no sense." Movie.
Movie. M-O-V-I-E. Movie.
That is correct. Hayden, your practice word is known. When they crossed Gibraltar Street with their bikes, they were leaving the known world of their neighborhood. Known.
Known. K-N-O-W-N. Known.
That is correct. Lucas, your practice word is suffer. Gio only needed to suffer 10 more minutes in the car before they reached the lake. Suffer.
Suffer. S-U-F-F-E-R. Suffer.
That is correct. Nathaniel, your practice word is double. Tasting the dish, Asia thought it needed at least double the chili powder. Double.
Double. D-O-U-B-L-E. Double.
That is correct. Last practice word will be Abraham. Abraham, your practice word is watch. Ben decided to stay hidden in the tree and watch for any signs of movement. Watch.
Watch. W-A-T-C-H. Watch.
Correct. right, we are now ready to start round one. Any word misspelled from this point out, from this point on, you will be out of the cell. Okay? That is the first spelling in round one. Addie, your first word is dream. In the morning, Marcus could remember every part of his crazy dream.
Dream. D-R-E-A-M. Dream.
That is correct. Bella, please. Bella, your first word is beans. Jonah was willing to try the broccoli, but he refused to touch the beans. Beans.
Beans. B-A-N-S. Beans.
That is incorrect. Cora, your first word is child. Taylor's mother kept telling her that a child did not need a cell phone. Child.
Child. C-H-I-L-D. Child.
That is correct. Peter, your word is space. Astronaut Christinette Koch spent almost an entire year in space.
Space. S-P-A-C-E. Space.
That is correct. Ella, your word is princess. The princess was never allowed outside the castle after dark for fear of the goblins. Princess.
Princess. P-R-I-N-C-E-S-S. Princess.
That is correct. Joy, the word is awe. Ava was overcome by a sense of awe when she entered the arena where the heroes played.
Aw. A-W-E-R.
That is correct. Hayden, your word is afar. Even though the island looked afar, Harry knew that if he kept paddling, he would eventually get there. Afar.
Afar. A-F-A-R. Afar.
That is correct. Lucas, your word is cost. Jamie explained to the customers that at the yard sale that the cost of his toys are $1. Cost.
Cost. C-O-S-T. Cost.
That is correct. Nathaniel, your word is sidekick. After Schmidt went off to college, Aquaman decided to get a new sidekick. Sidekick.
Sidekick. S-I-D-E-K-I-C-K.
That is correct. Abraham, your word is stuck. Gabby gathered her stuff and shoved it unceremoniously into her suitcase. Stuff.
Stuff. S-T-U-F-F. Stuff.
That is correct. We will now begin round 2. We have 9 spellers remaining. Addie. Addie, your word is least. Luckily, the card that she lost was the least important in her collection. Least.
Least. L-E-A-S-T. Least.
That is correct. Cora, your word is felt. Chloe decided to make her own teddy bear using felt.
Felt. F-E-L-T. Felt.
That is correct. Peter, your word is would. Mr. Abrams said that there would be order in his classroom. Would.
Would. W-O-U-L-D. Would.
That is correct. Ellie, your word is shambles. After Alicia's cousin spent the day playing in her room, she had to clean up the shambles alone. Shambles.
Shambles. S-H-A-B-L-E-S. Shambles.
I'm sorry, you were incorrect. Joy, your word is tail light. Luckily, no one was hurt in the accident, but the fender was drooping and one tail light was cracked. Tail light.
Tail light. T-A-I-L-L-I-G-H-T. Tail light.
That is correct. Peter, your word is quicken. Gary's garden, which had looked so yellow and wilted, began to quicken after the rain.
Quicken. Q-U-I-K-E-N. Quicken.
Incorrect. Lucas, presence. Your presence is not required at the moment, your teacher sternly stated when Gwen walked into the room early. Presence.
Presence. P-R-E-S-E-N-C-E. Presence.
That is correct. Nathaniel, your word is razz. When he saw that she was getting really upset, Yule decided that he would no longer razz his sister about her haircut. Razz.
You repeat the word, please.
The word is razz.
Raz. R-A-Z-Z. Raz.
You are correct. Abraham, your word is purple. The set designer used flowing purple curtains to convey the grandeur of the royal palace. Purple. You are correct. We will begin round 3 with 7 spellings. Abby. Your word is entire. Micah insisted that as the birthday boy, it was his right to have an entire birthday cake. Entire.
Entire. E-N-T-I-R-E. Entire.
That is correct. Cora, your word is December. Jan's birthday in early December made her a Sagittarius, which she thought suited her adventurous personality. December.
December. D-E-C-E-M-B-E-R. December.
You are correct. Sudden. Gloria could never figure out how to handle her mother's sudden changes in mood. Sudden.
Sudden. S-U-D-D-E-N. Sudden.
You are correct. Your word is combed. Tatiana's mom always combed and braided her hair at the beginning of the school year. Combed.
Comb. C-O-M-B-E-D. Comb.
Correct. Patrol. After he heard about the officer's multiple trips to the convenience store, the police chief told him his job was to patrol, not to snap. Patrol.
Patrol. P-A-T-R-O-L. Patrol.
Correct. Window. The two cats took turns watching the birds out of the window by the couch. Window.
Window. W-I-N-D-O-W. Window.
You are correct. Abraham, your word is pocket. He was sure that the note was either in his jacket pocket or squished at the bottom of his backpack. Pocket.
Pocket. P-O-C-K-E-T.
Pocket. Correct. We begin round 3 with 7 spellings. I'm sorry, round 4. Pardon me. Adding a word is project. There was no way to transport the flagpole without having it project out of the car window.
Project. E-R-O-J-E-C-T. Project.
Correct. Cora, your word is goofy. Simone's latest goofy drink idea was mixing together root beer, mango juice, and the liquid from a pickle jar. Goofy.
Goofy. G-O-O-F-Y. Goofy.
Correct. Peter, your word is remember. Whenever they drove past the old apartment building, Val would remember the long climbs up remember.
Remember. R-E-M-E-M-B-E-R. Remember.
You are correct. Joy, your word is travel. After the friends decided to travel across the country in a van, they marked down all of the places they wanted to stop along the way. Travel.
Travel. Travel. Travel.
You are correct. Lucas, your word is cranky. Jeremy was always cranky when he was woken up too early. Cranky.
Cranky. C-R-A-N-K-Y. Cranky.
Correct. Your word is career. Although Junie loved to cook, she said she had no plans to turn it into a career. Career.
Career. C-A-R-E-E-R. Career.
Correct. Abraham, your word is disease. Although no one in the immediate family got the disease, the quarantine kept them all home for months. Disease.
Disease. D-I-S-E-A-S.
Correct. We begin round 5 with 7 spellings. Addie, your word is trophy. Amy beamed as the judges handed her the trophy. Trophy.
Trophy. C-R-O-P-H-Y. Trophy.
You are correct. Cora, your word is athlete. From the first time she ran down the street as a toddler, people were predicting that Asia was going to be an excellent athlete. Athlete.
Athlete. A-T-H-L-E-T-E. Athlete.
Correct. Peter, your word is jotted. There was no way Clement was going to remember his aunt's message unless he jotted it down. Jotted.
Jotted. J-O-T-T-E-D. Jotted.
Correct. Joy, your word is sighed. Asia sighed as her mother began the old lecture about contributing to household chores. Sighed.
Side. S-I-G-H-E-D.
Favor.
Side.
Correct. Lucas, your word is duo. The Everly Brothers are probably early rock and roll's most celebrated duo.
Duo. D-U-O. Duo.
Correct. Nathaniel, your word is repress. The teacher had to repress an uprising in her classroom when the students found out they couldn't go outside. Repress.
Repress. Repress. Repress.
Correct. Abraham, your word is either. When faced with the two options, Maggie indicated that she had no interest in either.
Either. E-I-T-H-E-R, either.
You are correct. We begin round 6 with 7 stars. Rely. Ashton wondered whether he could rely on the rickety old bridge to cross the stream. Rely.
Rely. R-E-L-Y. Rely.
Correct. Chose. Amelia chose to go to space camp instead of joining the dance team. Chose.
Chose. C-H-O-S-E. Chose.
Correct. Else. When she saw the carrots peeking out of the grocery bag, Anya wanted to know what else her father had purchased from the store. Else.
Else. E-L-S-E. Else.
Correct. Antsy. Will you please sit still? Aunt Millie begged for Antsy. Yum, yum, Antsy.
Antsy. A-N-T-S-Y. Antsy.
Correct. Lucas, your word is Canada. People from Canada have a subtle but delightful accent. Canada.
Canada. C-A-N-A-D-A. Canada.
Correct. Nathaniel, your word is bison. Yellowstone National Park is an excellent place to spot a bison as the most important bird in the U.S. lives there. Bison.
Biden. B-I-S-O-N. Biden.
Correct. We begin round 7 with 7 spells. Oh, I'm sorry. Abraham, your word is dangerous. Swimming with sharks can be very dangerous, depending on the species. Dangerous.
Dangerous. D-A-N-G-E-R-O-U-S. Dangerous.
Correct. Now we begin round 7 with 7 spellers. Addie, your word is pluck. Lisa very much wanted to pluck the roses at the park, but her mother insisted that she leave them so everyone could enjoy them. Pluck.
Can you repeat the word, please?
The word is pluck. Pluck.
Pluck. P-L-U-C-K. Pluck.
Correct. Cora, your word is squid. The giant squid can be found in all the world's oceans. Squid.
Squid. S-Q-U-I-D. Squid.
Correct. Peter, your word is frisbee. Early names for the flying disc, known as the frisbee, were the Flynn saucer and the Pluto platter. Frisbee.
Frisbee. Frisbee. Frisbee.
I'm sorry, you're incorrect. Joy, your word is teeter. When she first started taking point classes, Misty used to teeter on her toe shoes, but now she's a famous ballerina. Teeter.
Teeter. T-E-E-T-E-R. Teeter.
Perfect. Lucas, your word is rallies. Pavarti hopes to join the soccer team, rallies before the time runs out. Rallies.
Repeat the word.
Rallies.
Rallies. R-A-L-L-Y-S. Rallies.
I'm sorry, incorrect. Nathaniel, your word is pastry. Sybil always knows where to find the most delectable pastry. Pastry.
Pastry. P-A-S-T-R-Y. Pastry.
Correct. Coveralls. The skilled car mechanic wore coveralls to protect his regular clothing. Coveralls.
Coveralls. C-O-V-E-R-A-L-L-S. Coveralls.
Correct. Round 8 begins with 5 spellers. Ponytail. Ariana's high ponytail is a statement to her fact. Ponytail.
Ponytail. P-O-N-Y-T-A-I-L. Ponytail.
That's correct. Clatter. With her baby napping, Cecile tried to put away the clean dishes without letting them clatter. Clatter.
Clatter. C-L-A-T-T-E-R. Clatter.
Correct. Joy, your word is snout. Eager for breakfast, Wilbur the pig happily stuffed his snout into the trough. Snout.
Snout. S-N-O-U-T. Snout.
Correct. Nathaniel, your word is tumbling. Simone is as breathtaking as tumbling as she is in all of the other gymnastic events. Tumbling.
Tumbling. Tumbling. Tumbling.
That's correct. Abraham, your word is cradle. After an hour of rocking the baby in her arms, Anna was finally able to move the baby to his cradle. Cradle.
Riddle. C-R-A-D-D-L-E.
Incorrect. We begin round 9, excuse me, with 4 scores. Firefly, Addie. Jamal felt that his summer hadn't really began unless he saw his first firefly. Firefly.
Firefly. F-I-R-E-F-L-Y. Firefly.
You are correct. Cora, your word is humor. To humor his fussy 2-year-old, Liam performed his elephant imitation. Humor.
Humor. H-U-M-O-R. Humor.
Correct. Mention. Suzette was thrilled that her report on the benefits of recycling got a mention in the mayor's speech. Mention.
Mention. M-E-N-T-I-O-N. Mention.
Correct. Spoken. Nadia ended the interview with a spoken gesture of appreciation. Spoken.
Spoken. S-P-O-K-E-N. Spoken.
Correct. Round 10 begins with 4 spellers. Addie, your word is bridge. The sheriff had to cross the bridge to apprehend the criminals.
Bridge. B-R-I-D-G-E. Bridge.
Correct. Or your word is pinpoint. Egyptologist Sarah Parasek was able to pinpoint the location of the ancient ruins using satellite imagery. Pinpoint.
Pinpoint. P-I-N-P-O-I-N-T. Pinpoint.
That's correct. Joy, your word is slate. The old house's roof is made of slate, which is very pretty, but would be very expensive to replace. Slate.
Slate. S-L-A-T. Slate.
That's correct. Nathaniel, your word is blush. When she tried on the expensive jacket at the designer store, Annette realized she had never before felt such plush velvet. Blush.
Blush. B-L-U-S-H. Blush.
Correct. Round 11 begins with 4 spellers. Adding your word is whimper. Frightened by the storm, the puppy began to whimper. Whimper.
Whimper. W-H-I-M-P-E-R. Whimper.
That is correct. Cora, your word is bracelet. Though the gems were really colored glass, Hetty's favorite piece of grandmother's jewelry was an Art Deco bracelet. Bracelet.
Bracelet. Bracelet. Bracelet.
You are correct. Inwardly. Though she had to keep a straight face during the meeting, inwardly, Heidi felt like laughing. Inwardly.
Inwardly. Inwardly. Inwardly.
That is correct. Nathaniel, your word is mobility. After his soccer injury, Lewis did physical therapy to increase his mobility. Mobility.
Mobility. Mobility. Mobility.
That is correct. Round 12 begins with 4 spellers. Addie, your word is eddy. Audrey dropped leaves into the stream's eddy and watched them swirl. Eddy.
There are multiple spellings for this.
There is none.
Eddie. E-D-D-Y. Eddie.
You are correct. Cora, your word is fanged. Tamika recalled her nightmare of a fanged beast under her bed with horror. Fanged.
Fanged. Fanged. Fanged.
Correct. Bow. The huge bow just barely missed landing on Mom's new car. Bow.
Bow. B-O-U-G-H. Bow.
Correct. Daniel, your word is cautioned. The students were cautioned never to go into the nearby forest alone at night. Cautioned.
Caution. C-A-U-T-I-O-N-E-D. Caution.
That's correct. Round 13 begins with 4 spellers. Addie, your word is accused. No matter how hard Cinderella worked, her stepmother would always accuse her of shirking her duties. Accused.
Accused. A-C-C-U-S-E. Accused.
You are correct. Cora, your word is drowsy. The drowsy cast settled into their favorite napping spots. Drowsy.
Drowsy. D-R-O-U-S-Y. Drowsy.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Joy, your word is scoff. Though her parents might scoff, Ishani dreamed of being an actress. Scoff.
Can you repeat the word?
The word is scoff.
Scoff. S-C-O-F-F. Scoff.
That's correct. Nathaniel, your word is opposite. With such opposite tastes, the couple had a difficult time decorating their new apartment. Opposite.
Opposite. O-P-P-O-S-I-T-E. Opposite.
Correct. Round 14 begins with 3 spellers remaining. Addie, your word is instrument. Lisa Simpson's musical instrument of choice is a saxophone. Instrument.
Instrument. I-N-S-T-R-U-M-E-N-T. Instrument.
That's correct. Joy, your word for this round is blissfully. Taisha entered the store blissfully, knowing that she could pick out 5 new books for her birthday. Blissfully.
Blissfully. B-L-I-S-S-F-U-L-L-Y. Blissfully.
That is correct. Nathaniel, your word is activists. The student activists were unwavering in their efforts to save the planet from pollution. Activists.
Activist. A-C-T-I-V-I-C-T-S. Activist.
Incorrect. Round 15 begins. We have 2 spellers remaining. And your word is commute. Justin was willing to commute to work in order to live on such a lovely farm. Commute.
Commute. C-O-M-U-T-E. Commute.
Incorrect. Joy. Cocoa. After playing in the snow for hours, the children were grateful with a warm cup of cocoa.
Cocoa. C-O-C-O-A. Cocoa.
That is correct. Round 16 begins. We have 1 speller. Joy, you need to spell this word correctly to do so. Nutrients. Bailey started eating avocados for the nutrients, but it turns out they're also delicious.
Nutrients. N-U-T-R-I-E-N-T-S. Nutrients.
You are correct. Congratulations. So this concludes our spelling bee. I would like to recognize 3rd place winner Nathaniel Fry, 2nd place winner Addie Quinn, and our spelling bee champion this year is Joy Newberg. Please stay here for some pictures. The rest of you are dismissed. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here.